And and if you would, go ahead and record your own screen if you'd like, just in case. Let me see here. All right, good. Does everybody see my screen?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. Today I'm going to talk about something that I think is going to be helpful to you. So do not tune out. Okay. Do not tune out. If you want to take notes, if you can't, just take notes. But if you notice, all I did was wrote an outline for what I wanted to say, took that outline and put it into Gamma, Gamma, and the Gamma created from my outline a presentation. That's just a plug for Gamma. That it's a great AI app that you can use to create presentations. Now it ain't fancy, but it was done. I just had to move a couple of things around when I was done. So, all right, let's jump in. Let's talk about four business success principles that I think is going to be useful for you growing your business. The first one out of four is we cannot lead ourselves. If we can't lead ourselves well, we won't be able to lead other people well. That's a very broad statement that I'm making, but it's true. If you can't lead yourself well, it's going to be tough. So I said here, I got to learn how to lead myself well. I got to learn. So sometimes it's not just something that comes automatic. It may not be, say, well, I'm not very disciplined. Well, you have to learn it. Um, my success is more important, has more to do with me than it does external influences. So success is more about me than all the different things that's happening, you know. And there's a big propensity to just want to make excuses, and you got to resist that. You got to resist making excuses, and just start playing this game. Because if you're playing this blame game, where I'm blaming, there's a reason why. It's the market. The market is so bad. No one's selling houses. That's not true. I'm selling houses. I closed last week. I closed the week before. I don't always announce everything I do online, but I closed. You know, there are many of you on this call. You're closing on deals. So the market, there are people buying. There are people selling. Good excuse. Another excuse I'm gonna use my CRM. I hate my CRM. I hate my broker. I hate my team leader. The mentor isn't any good. I'm too new. I'm so new, and so we can make all kinds of reasons and excuses why you're not doing good, but you got to lead yourself well. It could be I'm too young. My family situation is such that I can't really do it. So there's all kinds of reasons that we can use why you're not leading yourself well, why you're not being successful. But you got to overcome that. You've got to learn to lead yourself better and stop playing the blame game and just remember this is your business. You're a business man. You're the business. So remember that you were present with all your bad decisions that's ever happened in your life. You were there. That's a one constant. So stop blaming everybody and blaming things. You got to take that responsibility and begin to lead yourself. Take action and lead yourself. If there's something that you feel you have a shortcoming with, take care of it. Investigate and what I can do to improve. I do that, and many of you do that, but you should always remember that you can grow. You don't start leading yourself well. Now, if you buy into this victim narrative, um, if you do, you're gonna not make changes because then you're not responsible. It's the market. So I can't do anything if it's the market. It's out of my control. The reason why you're not, well, if it's my CRM, then I got something else. If it's the broker's fault, all that is affecting you. So you got to get out of that. You got to learn to lead yourself well. So the under the four, this I said, lead yourself well. Success is more about you than external influence. You got to take responsibility, and you've got to choose to change. Does that make sense so far? Okay. That was item one. Second business principle that will be helpful. If you got to understand and own your choices, it's important that you understand because we are the sum of our choices. We are where we are today because of choices that we have made, decisions that we have made. So we can so it's easy to choose, I think. It's easy to make good choices when you know your value. When you know what is important to you, you'll make choices for that. But if you don't know who you are and what you value, then your decisions are kind of random. Okay. But knowing and keeping in forefront, that's why you hear me talk about three principles that are important to me all the time: love, serve, and influence. That's my value. You hear, I talk about it so much. So I know if it doesn't, if what I'm about to do does not fit in under, am I loving people well? Am I serving them and being generous to them? And am I ultimately behind all that love and service? I'm trying to influence them somehow, spiritually or financially. I'm trying to influence them to be better, do better, to have more, to get better, spiritually, financially, all of it. But I know my value. I know what are my values? You know? Wow. So you got to know that. So there's two things that affect your choices. It's your values or your desire for immediate gratification. So if your desire for immediate gratification is more important to you than your value, you'll go that way every time. So we have to, so if it's sleeping in, I want the immediate I don't want to get up. Okay, you've made a choice. I'm gonna eat this very sugary Danish. That's a choice. I want that surge of sugar and salt in my, and so you've made a choice. So you got to do better. So what do you value? I value your health. I value my body. I value my mobility. I value my relationships, my family. I value my integrity. I value my reputation. So if you know your value, it's going to affect your choices. Or you can let immediate gratification of sleeping in, not studying, not learning, not practicing. That could be your guiding force. So you can't do that. So my question to you then is, and don't have to answer it out loud, is what are your values? What do you value? And the way that you can come to that, you can ask yourself, what do I want people to say about me when I die? At my funeral, at my eulogy, what do you want people to say? Oh, she was like this. She was so selfless. She was da da da. She did this. She was such an amazing, she was so generous. She was that. What do you want people to say about? What do you want to be known for? And so you got to ask it. So that will help you figure out what's important. So my value is, like I said, love, serve, and influence. I want to love people. I want to serve people. I want to, and ultimately, I do those two things so I can influence them, so I can have an impact on their life. Having an impact, and so I just don't want to die, and I didn't do anything for anyone. I didn't help anyone move. Get so that's important. What's important to you? Okay. So you got to fear, and then you got to fiercely protect those values that you have because that urge for immediate gratification is going to always your health. That urge to eat that donut or sleep, and late at night and binge watch and you don't know your business. You're not trying to improve yourself. So you got to fiercely protect that. Surround yourself with a team that matches your value. The people that match your value, surround yourself with those kind of people, not the negative complainers that just in your life that's just going to drag you down with them. Surround yourself with people that are positive and uplifting and life-giving in your life that will speak life into you. And so that's important. Um, and then we teach what we know, but we produce who we are. So you can say one thing, but you're going to do another. make sure those are aligned. Make sure that's aligned, properly. That what you're doing is truly what you believe, and not just talk. And take responsibility and manage your choices. Let your values be the filter. Let your values be the filter for your decision, and take full responsibility for where you are right now and what you're going to do today, and begin doing that. So, like I said, you got to ask yourself, who are you? If I asked you right now, and I will not, because some of you wouldn't know what to write down. To write down on a piece of paper right now, who are you? And if I ask you to write down on a piece of paper, what are your values? Your values could be my value. You could share some values, or you could have something completely different. But you should have something that you know that this is what I is important to me. And mine is easy to summarize: love, serve, influence. I'm gonna make the t-shirt, I promise you. Um, but that's important. You got to know who you are, and you got to know your value. Until you do that, you're making too many decisions based on immediate gratification, and you're not progressing like you want. So value versus immediate gratification. Those are the two things. One's over here, little evil person on your shoulder. The other one's over there saying, eat that thing. That donut looks so good. But you got what's important. Is it going to be you? Are you going to go into your 70s healthy? That's important to me. I don't want to be broke down, body pain and all that kind of stuff as I approach 70. Man, that's crazy talk. Okay, let's go to the next. All right. Number three, and I said there's four business principles I want you to get from this meeting. Number three principle is we all have a lid. Okay? We all have a lid, and basically it's a self-imposed lid. That's that I'm letting you right into it. That lid is you create that lid. Our sales organization will only grow as high as you grow. Your success and your organization will only grow as high as you. You're the lid. You're the leader. And John Maxwell said this. He says your leadership ability is your lid. How you lead now. Are you attractive? Do people want to be around you because you're a positive person? Or you're so negative? You know? So you got to understand your ability to lead has everything to do with your lid. Now, we're all leaders and influencers. We all are. People want to be influenced, and so you're here as a leader. You lead. Sales is leadership because you're leading people to make a good decision for them. And so as you lead people through the sales process, you've got to lead yourself. And if you lead a team of agents in your organization, you have to have that. You have to have all of that. And so stop being the lid. Stop shutting it. Stop limiting yourself. You got so your growth to get more, you've got to become more. And you got to stop letting your idiosyncrasies and your thing hold you back from where you could be. Stop creating a lid for yourself. And then fourthly, um, we don't fully develop in our comfort zone. All right. So many of us, me included, love being our comfort zone because that is a big old squishy, comfortable chair to sit in. It's like, oh man, this feels right. And we just stay there. But everything in life we don't already have exists outside of your comfort zone. The things that you don't have because you already created that lid and you got to break out from that comfort zone and start doing some things that are a little more uncomfortable so that you can grow, so that you can achieve your goals. If you want to get higher and better, you got there's some you got to stop going where I'm not good at that. I stopped saying things like I'm not good at names. I don't say stuff like that. I'm good at names. So it's important that you set it up correctly and start getting out of your comfort. So smooth and easy does not lead to growth. And you've heard the saying that smooth sea does not a good sailor make. Ever heard that saying? Smooth seas does not a good sailor make. A sailor has to go through some storms, go through some things, and learn how to navigate and function as a good sailor in some rough seas. That would turn them into a good sailor. Just a week or two ago, Portia was writing up an offer for someone, and she was going through rough seas. She was in a learning curve, trying to learn this thing and learn how to do a contract. And it was her first one, and she learned more in that couple of days writing up that offer than she learned probably months before then, because going through the roughness of learning it meant it's done. She's far better now than she was before that. She went through that. So our constant pursuit of comfort leads to failure and weakness. Oh, do you hear what I said? Our constant pursuit of being comfortable leads to weakness and failure. What does that mean? Well, we all want air conditioning and soft shoes and yeah, everything that we do that makes us comfortable in life. That's a general statement. It kind of leads to softness. It's like wearing a helmet. It just makes you softer and weaker. But if you allow yourself to go through some things, now that says when order and chaos intersect, that leads to growth. There's order and then there's chaos. That's when you grow. So stop avoiding the chaos. The chaos may be your learning curve. So I don't want to do that. It's gonna be so hard to learn. Stop that. That chaos of learning something new is going to be the thing that help you to grow and get better. And you're trying to avoid the chaos and just be comfortable. Comfortable doesn't lead to growth. You gotta embrace the chaos. The chaos will help you get to the next level. So, who did not embrace chaos? BlackBerry didn't. Blockbuster didn't. Um, Yellow Cab didn't. They were all replaced because they didn't embrace the chaos of change. Netflix came and got rid of Blockbuster because Blockbuster did not embrace the change. They were comfortable thinking, that'll never work. Everybody wants to come to a store and spend an hour of their Friday evening looking through a video, looking through our shelves. Not true. People didn't want that. They want to do it from the home. And so, because they stayed in their comfort zone, they died. So my encouragement to you, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You got to embrace the change. So it's easy is not good. Complexity is good. Be higher and be around people that embrace and value complexity. So comfort zone, avoid it, embrace complexity, and achieve more. And then lastly, just a little bonus on lead generation here, if you would. All right. I don't want you to think that to take on this deer in the headlight moment that a lot of agents are doing right now, because they think, oh my goodness, the market is what it is, and they have frozen. They're procrastinating, and they're losing out on their dreams and their goals because they're procrastinated and they're frozen up. They're just stalled because, oh my goodness, don't let that happen to you. Don't become that deer that just stares into the abyss and get creamed. You've got to get beyond that. For everyone that says it can't be done because the market is bad and no one's buying and no one's selling, there are people out there like Darren that's doing it, like Carla that's doing it. There are people out there that are actually getting it done and not making excuses. So you can't be that person. So you got to access your circumstances. So you got to look at your circumstance and then ask yourself, where are you now? What do I have? What resources do I have right now? What people do I have? Do an inventory. Don't get frozen. If you're right now, David, I'm kind of I was there. I was kind of frozen and procrastinating. Well, ask yourself, what do you have? What people do you have in your database? What? Oh, I have none. That's not true, but you have some. But so look at those. What resources do you have to get more leads? Well, I do have some resources. Well, we're gonna have to start using it. So you gotta just take an assessment and look at what's going on in social media. What problems can you solve? If you're gonna start doing things in social media, you got to solve people's problems. It's not a way, not about selling. Hey, come to my open house, or I can, solve people's problem. Ask AI, what are some of the problems that today's buyers are most concerned with, today's sellers are most concerned with. Ask, if you don't know what the answer is, ask AI. AI can tell you what the problem is, and then I want you to create some solutions for these problems. And I want you to create something. I can do two posts every week on these solutions. So if you don't know, ask AI to help you. Go and look at other agents that are doing it, but you have to you got to solve a problem. You can't be the person out there just giving information. Guess what? Let me tell you about information. People have enough information already. So I know you think, well, I just need to provide them more information. People got information. What people really want to listen to, they want to listen to someone that has some solutions. You want to capture loyalty, make some videos, do some talks. It could be faceless or with your face, but you need to embrace the complexity of providing solutions to people, and they will follow you. They will say, I want that to be my agent. I want that person right there. But that's people want solutions. You think I'm gonna just give information on the city. Yeah, that's all nice, but a lot that's been done. People want some more than information. They want solutions. All right, Chat GPT. You can go out there and create videos and what raises the property value, and then then you can give them some kind of solution on how to what to do with your property to raise the property value. You can ask ChatGPT to help you with some of that stuff. You talk to your past clients and your VIPs. Those are easy to convert. You can talk to your active customers. You can ask them questions like, "Hey, look, when I sold you that home recently, did I do a good job?" Great. I want to know, is there anyone in your life that would appreciate the level of service that I provided you? Ask for referrals. Ask your VIP, your fans. You've got some fans out there. It may just be your mom and your sister, but ask them to if there are any referrals that do you know someone that may be considering buying a home or considering selling a home? Ask people hey, when we work together, did I do a good job for you? And they're gonna say yes. Whenever a client is happy and start thanking you, Portia, that's the time to ask for referrals. When you're in the middle of it, yeah, you're under contract, time to ask for referrals. You just went through your due diligence period, and you're now moving on to the close. Time to ask for referrals. They're happy. They just went on the contract. Ask for referrals. They're happy. They just got through due diligence, and the seller is committed to giving them $10,000 towards closing costs. Ask for referrals. They're happy. The appraisal came back and it was good. Ask for referrals. You just sent them a pre-closing gift of some moving boxes from Amazon. And they're like, thank you for sending me these boxes. Oh, you're so welcome. By the way, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell a house that would appreciate the level of service that I'm providing you? They're happy. A lot of you wait to the very end of your transaction to ask for referrals. Too late, because they may have moved on because now they got to move, and moving was horrible and whatever. While they're now, if they're still happy after they close, that's great. But sometimes they're not. So every time they're happy is your prompt to ask for referrals. Okay. Next one is don't be a secret agent. Okay. You you got to go where people are. You got to connect with people where they are on social media. You've got to love people and be curious. It's got to be something that people know about you, that you love them, you care about them, and you're curious to know more about them. So you go to festivals, you go to car shows, you go to school sporting events, you parties and cookouts at your gym, fitness center, your church, and church groups that you join. Start being active and participating and volunteering, community events, service groups, all types of sporting clubs that you could join. Whether it's biking or golfing or tennis or walking or whatever. Maybe drinking wine is a sport for you. Then join a wine tasting group or something. That's your sport, but don't get hooked. And collect contacts wherever you go. Don't be so quick to hand somebody your card as it is to open your phone and say, hey, go ahead and put your name here. Let me text you right back right now so you have mine. Collect people's contact information, and then after they've put their information in my phone, I text them with a picture of my car, and I say, you know what, I do have a card. Here it is. I still give them a card because I want to have something physical that they can put in their wallet, you know. But I don't offer my business card up first. My intent is to collect. So I want to just kind of add that to the four principles of business success as just some tips that you should be working on if you're not doing. So hopefully this was helpful, and I just wanted to share that with you. Very good. Any questions?